Hello and welcome to the Fedora Files. I am Gregory Fedora. We are at Rockstar Fitness here in Middletown, Maryland, and I'm with Shane Smith, the owner. He's also a personal trainer,
Yes, sir.
and so you own this establishment.
I sure do.
And I had a question, like, how long have you been a personal trainer?
So when I first got started, I used to work at Costco, and then things weren't quite working out there. Pretty much like, everybody goes through with a certain job and then they want to go for their passion. That's kind of what happened with Costco. I was fed up with that, and then I was like, what do I like to do? And I like to teach and I like to train. So personal training is kind of what it became. So basically, I got my certification and everything through NSPA, National Strength and Professionals Association, and then kind of did the studying, the tests, and everything while I was working at Costco, and then basically decided to start working at Fitness First. Okay, just to kind of get my foot in the door, to kind of feel like, is this for me? Do I like what I'm doing? That sort of thing. So they gave me a few clients, and I enjoyed what I did, but I didn't like the atmosphere of the high volume gym, right? And plus, they were taking a rather large cut out of my pay versus, how much I was putting in, and how much they were taking out. So I was kind of like second guessing, like that's not very fair. So I was like, well, I want all of it. So basically, I started my own business, and I started actually above the main cut here in Middletown.
Mhm.
So I rented the space from them, and basically was there for maybe 9 months. It wasn't very long, and then I moved into this place. This place used to be Middletown Valley Fitness Center, and then I moved into this room for a little bit. Paid like $900 a month, um, and did personal training and kettlebell classes out of this room. And then I just pretty much bought the place from him. So it used to be a gym prior to me, and then I took it over, bought the gym. And so I guess I've been doing personal training for about 9 years now. Been into fitness pretty much my entire life. But as far as like doing the job, 9 years. As far as owning Rockstar Fitness, 8.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So, what kind of classes do you offer here? I know
Yeah.
I've seen many classes coming through. Like I've seen like boxing, I've seen different things. But
hmm
what do you guys offer here?
Yeah.
Like what class?
So we offer a kettlebell class, which is like kind of like if you've done fitness classes and everything, it's like body pump, but I use kettlebells, right?
Mhm.
So it's kettlebell pump, and it's basically mostly compound movements: shoulder press, bench press, rows, squats, those sort of things. High repetition, 20 reps most of the time. Um, so it's more of like a high intensity, high rep exercise class. And then I do a body blast class, which is the same thing, just different movements because it's with a bar versus free weights with kettlebells. So those are the two classes that I offer in the morning. I offer yoga. I offer bar, which is like a ballet and Pilates type high intensity and low impact class. And then what else do we offer? So my yoga teacher offers like a hit class as well. And then we also have boxing on Tuesday evenings, which Chad Zamana is an Olympic coach,
Mm.
a boxing coach. He just moved in here, I guess, beginning of last year. So all of my new instructors since the pandemic have been working with me for exactly a year. So I hired everybody in January of last year, of 2021. So they've been with me for just over a year. Chad has been running the boxing class for me on Tuesday evenings. He also does amateur boxing and professional boxing, and he actually runs it out of this room. So over in the corner, there's a bunch of pictures and boxing equipment. He also set up kind of like, I don't know if you can see it in the
Mhm.
picture there. There's some bolts right there.
Mhm.
He actually makes a boxing ring in here, and they do all their sparring and all their training out of Rockstar Fitness. And he does all of that for free. So if you want to be an amateur boxer, first you start out with being an amateur, and then you can work your way to pro. So he does the amateurs for free. The only way he gets paid is if his pro boxers have a fight. So once you go pro, then he gets paid. So all the work that he's putting in is basically for his own time. That amateur boxer could quit at any point. You never
Mhm.
know. And then, the work that he put in was mainly just his passion. He doesn't get any profit out of it. So He does that class on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7.
Okay, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I was curious. So you've been, training people. Do you have a? I'm sure you've helped a lot of people transform themselves,
Mhm.
but is there one that really sticks out that you were like, this is like was really cool to be a part of to
Mhm.
see this person go from this to this? Like,
Yeah. So yeah, I always liked doing fitness competitions. I've done one. I was very novice when I did that one, so there's a lot that I didn't know during that time. But I just love fitness. I love bodybuilding. I love the sport. So I had done it once before, did okay. I'm obviously much bigger and more proportionate and aesthetic now than what I was. But I enjoyed the whole atmosphere of fitness competitions, and I've always wanted to do a client and take them, him or her, to a competition. And I had a young lady come in, um, and maybe we can clip in some pictures of her.
mhm,
But so she came to me, you know, out of shape, and she just said, "I want to do a fitness competition." So I guess she was probably about 200 pounds, maybe. And then she wanted to do a fitness competition. So she made a major transformation within 6 months, right?
oh
She
wow,
went from mom to fitness competitor within 6 months. So it doesn't take long. And what I loved about her is she's also a cop, right?
mhm,
I'm not sure if she did any military stuff before, but I think that really had a major part into her success was she was like, yes, sir. Everything I did, she applied, which is great because you do tend to get a lot of clients who won't listen. They
mhm,
won't apply it. As a trainer, you're supposed to teach and give them the tools, and the client is supposed to apply them. And so it was just great to watch her transformation because you can, for trainers, you've been through it, you understand, you know what I mean, is you could go so long without having a successful client, right? I'm
mhm,
not like a rah-rah kind of guy. I may give the tools, you apply, right? I may either do or do not, right?
mhm,
So you can preach for a very long time, and it's kind of like, man, am I doing the right thing? Am I teaching the right stuff? And in your heart, in your mind, you know that you are. It's just the client isn't applying it, right? And so to watch her apply everything that I told her to do and her be successful with it was a good feeling for me because I do know what I'm talking about. You can go through this business and lose passion for it because you have more passion for the client than they have for themselves.
mhm,
you know I know what you can do, you don't. You just don't have the mindset to see what you could be. So it's like I'm more passionate about the person than they are themselves, so it's getting them to be as passionate as what I am for themselves. So to watch her go through that transformation, step on stage with confidence and do everything right and be successful. She got third and fifth place in her categories. So that's a pretty big success for
yeah,
me, to be my first fitness competitor, and to place.
yeah,
So that was
yeah.
my
Within a
favorite.
6 month
Yeah,
period to go
yeah.
from
Yep.
never doing it to getting
Hmm.
third and fifth,
Yep. Yep.
that's
And she did
phenomenal.
everything to a T. The water cut was perfect, and obviously, just not enough time to develop, the muscle mass that they were looking for. So she did women's figure, and she wasn't quite, obviously that's the whole point of that sport is, you do the work, you put in the work, and then you go and compete, and then you get feedback. And when you get feedback, they tell you what you can work on, right? So, I guess that's just the thing is she didn't quite have enough time to get the maturity of the muscle that maybe other women have been doing for years.
Mhm,
So she was in there with women who have been doing it for years and still placed third. So she really, had the genetics and everything to be successful and move forward with it. And then she stopped for other reasons, but she, just if we had a little bit more time, she could have probably done very well with, getting a first place at some point. And she got sponsored by a lot of people as well. So it was a good success.
no, that's awesome. That's very cool. Now, I was curious, like every year, like in January,
Hmm.
people are like, I'm gonna get in shape,
Hmm.
and they're like gun ho. They join a gym
Yep.
or they buy into a fitness program of some
Hmm.
kind or a diet program or whatever. They're like, I'm doing it. This is the year.
Hmm.
Within a week or two, they just kind of it's done.
Hmm.
Like, what is it? Why do you think? it is that people give up? What are the falls that people can get into that hinder them? Like that you would say that you've noticed as a trainer? Like what are things that people like think they should have this kind of accomplishment like this, where and then they give up? Like
Because
how
they
do you
don't
get
see
past?
the success.
Yeah, I guess because they don't see it within like because
Yeah.
usually it's like if I don't see success within like going to the gym 2 times, they're like I quit. And like I
Yeah.
don't see the point. I just am sore and nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just the thing with this day and age. People want instant gratification. And, they want that quick fix. They want it to happen fast. And most of the time, what I see is people will get involved in a fitness fad.
Mm,
And a lot of times it's diuretics and, you know, um, what do you want to call it? Flushing the system out and everything and getting rid of all the bad gunk. You know what I
mhm,
mean? And so it's pretty much a water cut,
mhm,
and then the client or person will see a big drop in weight, but then stop, right? Because then there's no more water to get rid of, and then it's muscle and body fat to get rid of, which is more difficult than water. It's very easy to flush out water and see the scale move, right?
mhm,
And so that's what everybody's focused on is the scale, okay? And then, once they see it stop moving and they're done with the water cut, then the weight gain starts to come back because the water starts to come back into the body, and they see that weight gain and not any weight loss. So I guess that's just the biggest thing is, um, do your own research and don't fall into the fads. Everything is marketing nowadays. You know, um, try not to get stuck in that rut where you're constantly doing something different, something new that's this latest thing,
mhm,
to help you lose weight faster. And they're all pretty much the same thing, and it's a moneymaker. So the biggest thing is doing your own research and getting a personal trainer
mhm,
because it may take longer to get there, going through the personal trainer, but you did it right.
mhm,
The personal trainer is teaching you the right way. This is how it's done. It's a slow process. If you want to keep it off, you know what I mean, stay in it. Stay in it for 3 to 6 months and see where we're at,
mhm,
And just for example, for my fitness competitor, she did it in 6 months. If you can take 6 months out of your entire lifespan,
mhm,
right, that's a very short period of time. It's just being consistent and grinding for that 6 months to change your body's set point. So once you've changed your set point, you've done it for an X amount of time, then it's harder to get back to where you were.
mhm,
If you're doing the latest fads where, it's water cuts and diuretics and flushing your system, you know, you lose maybe 5 or 10 pounds quickly, but your body remembers its set point that you've been at for X amount of years and it wants to get back to that set point as fast as possible.
mhm,
So you have to do it for quite a good amount of time in order for your body to change its set point and adapt to the new body weight that you've given it.
mhm,
So it takes a while. So that's the biggest thing is staying consistent, doing it every single day, day in, day out. Make it, your daily lifestyle. That's the biggest thing is making it your daily lifestyle and be in love with it.
mhm,
I'm in love with this. I've always been in love with it. That's what keeps me going. It's not about being motivated. I'm not always motivated. I just love doing this.
mhm,
I mean, it's what I do, it's my life, and it's embedded in my daily routine, you know? And so if it's embedded in your daily routine, then, you're going to be successful. And I'm not always perfect either. Everybody thinks they also, if they're going to lose weight or look a certain way, they have to be perfect.
mhm,
And that's daunting for people. Like it scares them. I can't be that perfect. I can't be that on point. So I'm just not even going to try. Right.
mhm,
But the thing is for me, is I always reach for the stars, but hit the moon.
mhm,
Right. So I'll try to be perfect 7 days a week, but it's not going to happen. I got
mhm,
kids, I got a life, got a business. You know what I mean? I'll try to be perfect as much as I can, but I might be perfect 4 days out of 7.
mhm,
Right. But I'm still on the other side of being more than 50%. You know what I
mhm,
mean? So that's the biggest thing is if you're on that side, and sometimes I am perfect for a week, which is very rare, but if I'm perfect 4 or 5 days out of the week out of 7, you're going to get there. You know what
mhm.
I mean? It's all about consistency and enjoying what you do and just not giving up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think not giving it is key because a lot of times people will go, and they'll, like you said, they start in January.
Mhm.
In the month of January, they're killing it.
Mhm.
Then February comes, and then they miss like 2 or 3 days, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, man."
Mhm.
And then they just get down to it, and then they don't try to
Mhm.
get back, and like
Mhm.
you said,
Yeah.
you can't always hit every day. Like, if you decide, "I'm going 3 days a week," and then 1 week you can only make it once,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
doesn't mean the next week don't come at all.
Correct.
Try and at least get there, 3 again or 2, and
Yep.
shoot for 3,
Yeah.
and like you
Yeah.
said, if you
That's a example of trying to be perfect, but then not all, but reaching the moon.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is just sticking with it. Being motivated is great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you get pumped up and get ready for the New Year's and everything. And motivation is a big part of it. There are times where I'm extremely motivated and I don't miss a beat. And that's I also like being that way. I like being, on point with everything because that's the fun of it. To me, might sound crazy to
Mhm.
other people, but that's fun to me. I like, watching my body change, playing with different regimens of food and everything. And I like seeing my body change, what worked, what didn't work. You know what I mean? So that's what's fun to me is watching my body sculpt, treating it as a sculpture. I often use a phrase, everybody wants to put, the premium or supreme in their car, but they won't put it in their own bodies. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So they care more about the car versus themselves. So treat it the other way, try and put, the premium stuff in your body, to watch your body change and become your engine, your
Mhm.
supercar. So that's kind of the way that I look at it.
Yeah, and I've talked to you before, like, about, like, food intake and what you're putting in,
Hmm.
like, we've talked before, like, and I think it is amazing how a lot of times people think they can just sorta do cardio to get rid of the
Hmm.
sugar that they're
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
inhaling,
Hmm.
and it works for a time,
Hmm.
but then,
Yeah.
I think we talked a few days ago with someone else that and she had pointed out that she finally came around that she
Hmm.
needed
Yeah.
protein and to be doing more than cardio,
Hmm.
and
Yeah. So that's the biggest part with me is we had spoke earlier about how it can be kind of frustrating to watch people not listen to you, right?
Mhm,
But also I've learned to be patient with this job because I've gotten to a point now where it's like, okay, I'm going to give you the tools. Here's everything you need to know about fitness. Now go apply it because my job as a trainer is to I'm not here to just give you a killer workout and then send you home. You know what I mean? Like that's not what a trainer is supposed to do. So if you get a trainer and all they're doing is just kicking your ass every single day, every single session, but not teaching you anything, you need to get a new one, right?
mhm,
I teach nutrition because the nutrition is the major part of the either losing weight or gaining muscle. Okay. Um, so basically, I give the tools. And basically what I do now is I don't like to keep a client. I do an 8 session program. Okay. I
mhm,
do nutrition, circuit training, body weight training, chest, back, shoulders, arms, and legs. So I
mhm,
do 8 sessions of pretty much every aspect of fitness. Now, obviously, there's yoga, things like that are stretching that are different than, training, which yoga is great. Do that as well in your regimen if you'd like to. But as far as like losing weight and building muscle and shaping your body the way you want to, those are all the aspects that you're going to need to get there. And
mhm,
I'm not a huge fan of running in a straight line, right? Cardio is short for cardiovascular. So you're strengthening your cardiovascular by running, by doing
mhm,
those types of things, and that's great. If that's your vice and that's what clears your mind, and you want to get out on an open road and go run to think and just get away from life for a minute and just be able to breathe and clear your mind, and running is that vice for you, go do it. But don't use it as your staple of
mhm,
trying to lose weight. Don't use cycling as your staple of trying to lose weight because running isn't going to build glutes.
mhm,
Running isn't going to build quads. Running isn't going to give you a capped off shoulder to wear in a blouse or, to wear in a nice form fitting t-shirt, right? Cardio is strengthening your cardiovascular and burning some calories. But when it comes to weight training and everything, that's how you build a nice butt. That's how you build nice quads. That's how you build, nice shoulders, triceps to get rid of
mhm,
the points that you don't like. You know, um, but basically, with what I've done over the years, I've learned to be patient. because I'm there to teach my client, not just give them a workout and just to keep them as long as possible, because they're not going to be successful, right? I want people to be successful, so I'm going to give them every tool that they need to be successful. So that way, when they're done, they can't say, yeah, I tried the personal training thing, but it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Or, you know, they can say, yeah, I learned everything I need to know from Shane. Go to Shane. He knows exactly what I'm doing, but I'm the one who didn't apply it. You know what I mean? So that's what I do for my clients, is I put them in a position to succeed. It's up to them to do it, right? And they may listen and they may not, right? To get back to your question, is they may listen and they may not, but it eventually, it could be a year from now. It could be 2 years from now. Eventually, I've had clients come back to me and say, you know what, Shane, you were right. So it might not happen for them now. You know what I mean? They're not there mentally, you know, to absorb that information and to obtain it and apply it, right? You know, basically what happens is a person, you know, has to hit rock bottom until they realize that they have to do what they already knew they had to do in the first place, right? If they would have just done what they knew they had to do in the first place, they'd be much further along, but they weren't ready. So that's the biggest thing for me, is I'm just patient. I'm a patient trainer. I've done this for a long time, and I give the tools, and eventually they come back to me and they say thank you. Yeah. So that's pretty much, you know, with the industry is what I see a lot.
Well, I think it's neat too that you said you kind of do an 8-session thing and you're kind of like done. And a lot of times I think people think, when they think, oh, trainer, this is going to be for the rest of my life. I need this guy. And I think some trainers do kind of do that way, but I like that how you've kind of said it's 8 sessions, and when I'm done, you know everything that I'm going to give you.
You don't need a trainer ever again.
Yeah, as long as you apply
my job, right? My job is to give you the notes, do the nutrition, you know, send you home with the pamphlet and everything so you can go back on it, teach you how to make your macros, teach you your BMI, you know, your BMR and everything, and teach you how to change your macros, right? And teach them about, you know, different diets, keto, intermittent fasting, carb cycling, macro counting, calorie counting. I teach everything, so that way they can decide which one they choose to do. They all do the same thing, okay? And that's the biggest thing that people don't understand. Oh, I did intermittent fasting and it worked for me. Well, if you would have done the regular macros, it would have done the same thing, because everything is based around one thing, and that's getting a certain amount of calories in within the day, right? And so whether it's, you know, high carbs, low fats, moderate protein, or high fats, no carbs, and high protein, which is the keto, it all equals the same amount of calories, which is your BMR, right? So they're all the same thing, but mostly in the industry that you see, if you follow a lot of fitness competitors and bodybuilders and everything, the ones that you're looking at that you think that have a great body, they're doing macros for the most part. You know, they do other things that kind of manipulate sometimes, but in the off season and everything, they're pretty much using macros.
So I want to give you a chance. Like I know I already said this is in Middletown. You're like right, pretty much in downtown Middletown, or I guess it's a town, village, whatever.
Very small town.
Yeah. But if someone wanted to get a hold of you and would like you to be a trainer or would like to come, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah.
What's the best ways?
So pretty much you can follow us on Facebook, Rockstar Fitness LLC. You can message me on there. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see all of our classes, all of our equipment and everything, all of our advertising and stuff. But also my personal number and the number to the gym is 301-305-3612. Give me a call. If I don't answer, I've left a voice message on my answer machine to give me a text or to give me an email, and all that information is on my answer machine. So
cool, very cool. Well, I want to thank you. I know you got clients and stuff and other things doing. Probably you need to get a workout in.
Sure.
So I thank you again for coming on, and hopefully you can come back sometime. We can get even more in depth into like different things.
I'd love to do a second one.
Yeah, and like talk about like more of the dieting side of it, because I know you know a lot. I've talked to you about it before, and you've given me a lot of info.
Yeah.
So those of you who are watching or listening, check out Rockstar LLC on Facebook and on Instagram, and thank you for listening. And again, thank you for coming on, Shane.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And
yes, sir.
As always, stay safe and keep searching.
Check out fedoracrt.com today.